Hello and welcome to EV Review Ireland. My name is Reilly. Today we're with the Audi Q4 e-tron and it's the Sportback version. So let's get started. If you're interested in all things EV and want to support the channel, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future updates. Today we are with the Navara Blue, and it also comes in this beautiful Aurora Purple as well. So a nice choice of colours, lots of greys, lots of whites, lots of blacks, lots of silvers, but there are some standout colours like this one. This being the Sportback version, the changes mainly are down towards the end, whereas the front and the side profile are pretty similar to the Audi Q4 that I've already reviewed on the channel. Make sure you click the link on the description. Over 35,000 people have watched that review of my first impressions, and I'm still impressed with this car. This one has some optional extras on it, like the LED matrix headlights, etc. But we'll go through the whole car, inside and outside, and take it out for a spin. Starting off the front, you have this brand new Audi logo here, with the 360 camera sensor in underneath it, and that, not a grille, but looking like that grille that's not needed anymore, so it is solid. Depending on the trim and depending on the spec will dictate what this looks like. In Ireland, we're getting a 35, a 40 and a 50. 35 designating the smaller battery size, and the 40 and the 50 with the bigger battery size from the MEB platform, the 77 kilowatt hour. That smaller battery size is 52 kilowatt hour usable. We've got some air able to get in underneath here for the battery pack. This is the S-line trim, so you will get a lot more silver accents on it, along the front here, up along the side. And then also down along the side, but we'll take a look at it. In the United Kingdom, you don't get the 35, you just get the 40 and the 50, and you've got the Sport, the S-line, which is the same as this, and you also had initially the Vorsprung trim, but it's called the Edition 1 or First Edition trim, and that blacks everything out here. Really like it. So depending on the market will dictate what trim levels you have, what model numbers you have, etc, etc. These LED matrix headlights are amazing, coming in around 1,400 euros of an optional extra. No frunking underneath here. It's a rear wheel drive vehicle. Down along the side you have the options of 19s or 20s here in Ireland and in the United Kingdom. And I think there's a 21-inch option in some other markets as well. You've got that body coloured cladding around the wheel arches, again an optional extra. Sometimes that comes in a kind of a grey plastic moulding. S-line badging, large MEB VW group I'll call it. Wing mirrors, so very similar to the ID4, the Skoda Enyaq, which this is all based on in competition with. So with the Sportback, the Q4 they've called it, they didn't change the designation of the number, whereas the Volkswagen ID4 in Sportback version is the ID5. Again, review up on my channel, and thousands of people have looked at it, so seems to be a lot of interest in it. I haven't had a chance to drive the Skoda Enyaq Coupe yet. I'm looking forward to that. Again, because of that the S-line trim, you have that silver cladding in underneath, body coloured roof, and B-pillars in gloss black. You can get it with a panoramic sunroof on some models, not currently available on this model here in Ireland. You can't even spec this model in Ireland at the moment actually, so we're getting the press cars, and if you wanted to order it you'll have to wait for it or go and talk to your Audi garages. Body coloured door handles and a proper door handle that clicks out and closes shut. A chrome shoulder line. You've got some nice creases in underneath from the front over the front wheel arch, and then kicking in at the back here and coming around on the back. Good size opening rear door as well. Charging is on the rear right hand corner, and on the smaller battery size the AC is up to 7 kilowatt and the DC is up to 100 kilowatt, and on the larger batteries of the 40 and the 50 designates also that it's a quattro, so it is dual motor. Whereas this is the 40 S-line rear wheel drive single motor, and that brings your AC up to 11 kilowatt and your DC up to 135 kilowatt. So 12 hours on the larger battery, about 8 hours on the smaller battery overnight charging on the AC, and then for the DC charging about 33 minutes if you can find a charger that will give you that at peak. Let's turn it around and have a look at this beautiful sloping coupe roofline. If you're a fan of that Sportback look, this is probably the best angle of the car. Up the top you have got your shark fin aerial in gloss black, and then you have your swooping roofline. You've got your spoiler, which kind of gives a small bit of a letterbox operating with regards to the rear view out of it. You've got a brake light in underneath here, your Audi logos, your side-to-side LED brake light, your Q4 designation on the back here, and then your 40 designating the size of the battery and the electric motor, because there is a difference between the 35 and the 40, and then e-tron badging in underneath. Some body coloured e-tron branding in underneath there as well. This comes with a power tail lift. And because that shoulder line is higher than in the standard Q4, you're getting 535 litres instead of the 520 in the standard Q4. Solid partial shelf, some coat, some LED some shopping bag hooks, and LED. This comes in a 60-40 split, because depending on the packs that you get, you can get a 40-20-40 with a centre armrest. This one doesn't have that. You've got your split floor as well for your chargers in underneath. So great size. Now when you knock down the seats, because of that sloping roofline, you're losing a bit in the overall capacity. This one has 1,420 litres approximately, but some really good size space. Bit of a lip in underneath. Let's have a look on the inside. What's it like inside the Audi Q4 e-tron Sportback? It's about 2 degrees outside. You can hopefully see the steam there, so I'm frozen. But I've got the heated seats on, which is great. I don't know if it comes with any option for a heated steering wheel, but we'll come to that in a second. Good big chunky door, some central locking buttons on it. You've got your 4, same as the Enyaq, but not like its sibling in the Volkswagen stable. You've got your windows down. You've got this really nice water bottle pocket in the door as well, and you've got the button underneath for the ability to open your boot with another pocket in underneath. But this has the ambient lighting pack in it, because so you have a strip that goes along, but also you've got the S-line door sill. Great thunk to it. Flat bottom and flat top steering wheel, S-line badging on it as well. Illuminated haptic buttons left and right. Left is to do with view on the actual steering binnacle or driver binnacle. Right is to do with audio, voice control, etc. This has reach and rake. And you need all of it because of the way that the dashboard driver binnacle is all digital. You have the ability then to change what you're able to see, the view, whether you want large dials or small dials, whether you want the map in the background, etc, etc. So it's good. You've got your automatic adaptive cruise control stalk on the left. Also you've got your lights and indicators on the right. You've got your wipers, and you also have some regenerative braking paddles. Not one pedal driving, it is B mode, but when it's in D mode you can change the regenerative braking levels to it. And over my left knee you've got some lights with regards to poor redder lights, rear fog lights, and automatic light stalk on or off. Large MMI Audi infotainment screen with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as wireless. Great, easy to read tiles, very simple to use, and then underneath it then you've got physical up and down for where you want the aircon, etc. Heated seats, as I mentioned, etc. I can't find a heated steering wheel option on it, but I don't think it's in it. But heated front seats, manually adjusted on this model. It has leather on the outside. Seats are very comfortable, the rest line seats, with adjustable cloth fabric in the middle. 2 USB Type-Cs in underneath the center console, with no wireless charging option on this. So because with Audi, and I've talked about it before in another video, when you want something you have to add it as a pack usually. So it's just the way it is. I'm not going to give out about it like I did in that video. It is, whereas with this car, it is coming in at the e-tron 35, Q4 e-tron 35 Sportback is coming in at starting at 52,000 euros. This 40 with the S-Line pack is 64,000 euros in around, and then with the extras on it, it's just over 70,000. So just over 70,000 euros, there are stuff that you're not getting. You're not getting a wireless charging pad, you're not getting blind spot in the back. There's some compromises there as well. It's just people haven't spec'd, the person who spec'd this car didn't spec certain things on it. But the driver infotainment is good. The heating controls, the factor physical buttons is really good. You've got your drive select modes, and you've got efficiency, comfort, auto, dynamic and individual. Hazard lights, traction control off, a physical on and off button. You've got your reverse neutral, and then 2-stage drive modes, D or B. And then you've got a kind of a jog wheel with it as well. 12 volt, 2 large cup holders with the ability to, if your phone fits, to sit in the middle, and you've got this movable armrest that has some more storage in underneath as well. Up on top you have your vanity mirror with light, LED, and you've got your reading lights, touch sensitive as well. Nice size wing mirror, as I talked about. It will be a slice going through it for that spoiler in it, but overall the quality is great, the fit, the finish. There's a bit of gloss black, there's brushed aluminium across the top of the dash, and then there's this gloss black silver body colour kind of a setup going on here. But yeah, it's a nicely well fitted. You can definitely, you're paying for the 4 rings. It's a step above the Skoda Enyaq, and the Skoda Enyaq is a nice interior. It's miles away from the ID4, ID5, and just that infotainment system and that steering wheel with the controls on it. It's not, I don't know of anybody that's a fan of it, and I know that they've made announcement that they're pulling away from it. Over here then you have your glove box. It's kind of a half a glove box because the fuse box is in on the right hand side there. Optional extras on this Q4, let me have a look here. The ambient lighting package, the Audi Connect navigation and infotainment pack, the digital matrix headlights we talked about, €1,400. The full paint finish is actually only €322. Advanced navigation is €3,237, and then those 20-inch Y-spoke alloys outside, it is an upgrade of €193. So yeah, €70,832 on this Q4 e-tron Sportback. Is it worth it? Starting to get a bit, when you look at the likes of this versus the Ioniq 5, when you look at this, the likes of the EV6, you look at the value you're getting and what you're getting within it, the Nissan Ariya, the Ford Mustang, then you're starting to creep into your BMW iX3 range. It's a fine car. It is a fine car. I would have liked a panoramic sunroof as an option, but for some reason not in this market. In other markets they do have it. What's it like in the back of the Audi Q4 e-tron Sportback? And with that sloping roofline, I'm 188 centimetres, 6'2". I've got a decent amount of space here. Let me put on my headrest. So 1 or 2 centimetres on the right as I lean my head back. Leg room, 2 or 3 centimetres as well. Doors are a good size with those amazing pockets for bottles and a good bottom pocket in underneath it as well. And you've got those cutouts in the actual back of the seats. Now this one doesn't have, I think it's called the comfort pack, so it doesn't have the nets, it doesn't have USB chargers in the back, it doesn't have that tri-zone. So again, but if you've nobody sitting in the back, you may not want that. No center armrest. It has 3 ISOFIX, 2 in the rear on the outside bench, and then the front passenger side is ISOFIX as well. You've got your courtesy lights up on top, touch sensitive. So space wise, it's great. And again, if I was buying it, you'd be speccing the bits and pieces that you want, the USB Type-Cs and the nets in the back of the seats. But yeah, space is what I'm interested in at the moment. I know the extras are nice, but on this press car, it's good space. Stick it out for a spin. What's it like driving the Q4 e-tron Sportback? Start off with visibility, and like a lot of the Volkswagen Group cars, the Skoda Enyaq, the ID4, ID5, and the Q4, as well as the Sportback, the wing mirrors are a great size. I really like them. Now, what I don't like on this model, it hasn't been equipped with the safety pack, I think it's called, and so you don't get blind spot and stuff like that. So I definitely think that's a missed opportunity that should be standard, and I appreciate that Audi and a lot of the German brands have these packs that you add on for the stuff that you like, but I think safety, I think, is something that shouldn't be an optional extra. I think it should be included. So visibility, their A-pillar is not bad. It has a small little quarter panel down in the right in the corner, so you can see it. Great visibility in the windscreen. In the rear, because of that spoiler, you're getting a bit of a letterbox effect, and if that middle headrest is up, it's starting to become a bit restrictive with that sloping roofline, but visibility overall is good. Steering wheel feel is really nice, and even with that flat bottom and flat top, it's a nice steering wheel to handle. The steering itself, the feel of it is good. It can't be adjusted. There is different driving modes, so that can slightly change the feel of it, but that's depending on the mode that you're driving in. There is the individual and how heavy it is, or how heavy the steering wheel is not, but the buttons are good on it. The visibility to the driver binnacle is really nice, so I like that about it as well. The seats, these S-Line seats, are phenomenal. Going over a speed bump there, and it is a bit on the firmer side, this ride. Not bad. Manhole covers, undulations in the road. no problem with that at all. Power pickup is good, the accelerator is weighted well, it is rear wheel drive like a lot of the MEB platforms. Stopping power is not bad either, it has drum brakes on the rear and disc brakes on the front. This is the 40 and the 35, and in some markets they have a 45 are all single motor rear wheel drive, and then the 50 is the Quattro. Predominantly runs in rear wheel drive mode, but when it does need that traction on those front wheels, it will send power to that electric motor on the front axle. Consumption, I'm getting around about 22 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometers, so it is a heavy vehicle. It is up over 2,100 kgs. Head-up display is good as an optional extra. Sometimes I wonder, do I like them, do I not? And then when I'm in a car that doesn't have it, I like, would it be a deal breaker for me? Probably not. It is a bit of a novelty, but it's nice to have it if they put it on it, but no doubt you're paying a premium for it on the Audi. I do miss a panoramic roof in this one. I know in some markets they have it, but just for some reason we don't seem to have it. Maybe it's on the spec. I couldn't see it on the option list. In Ireland at the moment you can't even configure this car, obviously due to supply chain issues. So it's interesting to see if we'll have that option. The infotainment screen is really nice and wide. It uses all of the screen real estate. And when it's an Android, I'm an Android user, and so that wireless Android Auto, I really like it. You're not getting that Android sign. So manufacturers, I think I talked about it in one of my most recent videos where I talk about, I know that there's a payment to Google, Alphabet, Android, just pay it. Drivers want this. If you've got a big screen, let's utilize it for its maximum capability. And the use of that driver infotainment screen. The physical buttons are great. Overall, it's a well-built, solid package, quality feeling. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you're considering the Q4 e-tron. Are you going to go for the Sportback? Are you happy with the ID4, ID5? Are you Skoda Enyaq and you're excited for the coupe that's coming? Lots of opportunities and options within this price point. You've got the BMW iX3, you've got the Nissan Ariya, you've got the Ford Mustang, which I'm a fan of as well. Hopefully you've enjoyed my look around and drive of the Audi Q4 e-tron. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Like the video, leave a comment, and remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thank you very much for watching.